What is going on, bros? Welcome back to another trade recap. Haven't done one of these in a while. It's been a little bit. I don't really trade recap my Asia Gold trades. And if you guys would like me to, let me know down in the comments if that is something that you would like me to do. However, we are going to recap the trade that I ended up taking last night and today. But yeah, we're just going to go over both of them. You guys know the drill already. It's been long enough. Everything that I was thinking about, everything that led me to taking this trade, all of that good stuff. So first off, here's the P&L ski, 1,000 across a fresh funded account. We are going to trade or check the trade from last night first before anything else. This was a beautiful setup. This was pristine. Literally nothing can get better from this. Anyways, we ended up opening up last night, and I usually do not trade Sunday Asian Open, right? Sunday Market Open. It's just, number one, I don't want to ruin my weekend. Number two, it's less probable. And yeah, usually if I do take a trade, which a lot of times I don't, if I do, I'll take it on an eval. However, this trade was just too good to pass up on. It was too good to not take a trade off of this, right? So anyways, we ended up creating this new week opening gap, one of the greatest draws in the game. Personally, my favorite. I like it more than Data Wicks. For some reason, I don't know. My trades end up playing out more when I'm actually taking a trade off of that versus, like a Data Wick or something like that. Anyways, coming into this session, we obviously ended up creating this Data Wick. We're bullish. It's pretty apparent that we're bullish. Where's the price? It's pretty apparent that we're bullish, right? Because, is this what it is? Yes. Pretty apparent that we're bullish, all-time highs. I mean, look at this 4-hour. Right? We are just continuing to push up higher. So anyways, off of market open, I wasn't even really looking to take a trade. However, we ended up manipulating it into this 4-hour gap. So you guys know all-time highs. We do have this gap down here, right? However, when we manipulate for all-time highs, we're going to make short retraces and then continue back up to the direction that we want to go, which is long. Because it's all-time highs, that draw is so strong, right? We don't need much of a retrace to continue back up higher. That's just how it works. It's how it moves. Don't ask me why. That's just how it does. Anyways, so we get that gap, tap into the 4-hour. We also put in a very, very, very large SMT all the way down here, right? We had this SMT, bang, bang, bang. So huge SMT. ES had tapped into the more discounted 4-hour down here. NQ was not, but it was still inside of that 4-hour. SMT, targeting the new week opening gap. What more can you ask for? Internal resweep, like it literally had everything, bro. It genuinely had everything. There's nothing more for this trade that I could have wanted. And then we got a beautiful, beautiful 5-minute inversion back to the upside. Boom, just like this. Stops at the candle body, targeting that new week opening gap. Break even right here. I mean, what more can you ask for, bro? Genuinely, what more can you ask for? This trade was beautiful, played out perfectly, and you can see the volume that we had towards that, right? Because this is such a strong draw. But anyways, that's that trade, Asian session trade. Beautiful. And I don't even really trade NQ in Asia. I usually trade gold. However, I was looking at both, and I was like, holy cow, this looks really good. I was actually just looking to see where we opened up at, to see if we had, a big enough NWOG to target today. And this setup was right there. And I was like, I would be an idiot to not take this trade, right? And that is the best trades. The best trades are when you're literally looking at the charts and you're like, you know what? I would be dumb to not take this trade. And then that's the trade that you end up taking. And as you can see, you end up smacking full TP on those trades. Anyways, coming into the chart for today. So obviously we have this 4-hour gap down here, right? And we have that low inside the 4-hour gap. You can see that I had marked out. What I wanted to see was a manipulation lower into that gap, maybe filling that gap a little bit more, and then continuing back to the upside. Really, like a little, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's what I wanted to see happen. Anyways, off of market up, we ended up just pumping up higher, took out those all-time high draws, and then after that, you can't really do anything. You're just waiting for a 5 or 15-minute continuation. We ended up coming down, retracing into this 5-minute gap, putting in an SMT right here, and then also one thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people in my comment section was like, bro, we inversed the 5-minute. Why'd you still take this trade? We inversed the 5-minute. You guys have to stop charting on MNQ. MNQ is screwing you over when you're charting on it, right? There's less volume, less contract size on MNQ Therefore, the actual moves that are being made, the actual chart that you need to be charting on is NQ. And here's an example of that, right? We inverse this gap on MNQ. However, we did not inverse this gap on NQ, and you were able to take a trade off that. And it can be vice versa too. If you're charting on MNQ, we might not inverse a gap, but we might on NQ. Therefore, you could still think a trade is valid, and it's not valid, then you get cooked, right? So anyways, that's that trade. Or sorry, that's that kind of thing that I want to talk about, is just strictly, trading on MNQ, or not necessarily trading, but charting on MNQ, and then you can trade on, charting on NQ, then trading on MNQ, if you run that way, if you, whatever, right? Anyways, so we ended up tapping into this 5 minute. There's our kind of, confirmation that we're going to go higher. Ended up putting in this SMT, like I said, and then we also ended up putting in this SMT right here, from this low to this low, right? So we had a double SMT here. We had one with this low right here, as you can see, and then this low right here. So very, 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 very beautiful. A lot of confluence in this trade. And then lastly, you just enter off the 30-second inversion, got in right here, targeted a 1-to-1. You could have targeted more. You could have targeted this high, potentially all-time highs. But the 1-to-1 is the trade that you need. You don't need any more than a 1-to-1. Genuinely, you don't. 1-to-1 is king. It is going to win so much more than a higher RR system. It's just better on your psychology, better in those terms. Depending on what dopamine boost your brain wants, either a higher win rate or bigger wins. It all depends on you. I like winning more. I like being able to come onto the charts every single day and be confident that I'm going to take a win, right? Whereas instead of being like, oh, I just need one win this week and it's going to cover everything. I don't like that. I like consistent wins over time, because it feels like, you're more so in tuned with the charts. You're better off doing it like that. But anyways, right, this trade based off of, we had an SMT right here, we had an SMT right here, then delivery out of a 5-minute gap, targeting our all-time highs draws, which is the most strong, the strongest draw currently. All-time highs is always going to be getting drawn towards, with the 30-second inversion, continuation back to the upside. Just very easy, very simple. You also could have taken this 5-minute inversion right here, as you can see, this 5-minute, boom, up to your all-time highs. But once again, like I said, 1-to-1 is king, right? So if you would have taken this 1-to-1 right here, you would have hit TP. If you targeted all-time highs, which is a little bit higher, right, you would have gotten break even. And that right there just kind of shows, like, 1-to-1 truly is king. 1-to-1 is what's going to consistently make you money over time. But this is a good trade too. It's literally based off the same exact idea that we have an SMT, whatever. It's just waiting for more confirmation, aka this 5-minute gap tap. The reason that I ended up entering off of this is because we created a new manipulation leg. So therefore I was able to enter off of this, right? So this was technically our manipulation leg, and then we put in some highs, started reacting off gaps. Then we had a resweep with an SMT. Therefore, that's our new manipulation leg. 30-second inversion, boom, back to the upside. Easy, simple. With that being said, that's going to be it for me. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, leave them down in the comment section below. Once again, if I take a trade tomorrow, you guys will see me tomorrow. If I don't take a trade tomorrow, you won't see me tomorrow. But that's going to be it for me. I'll catch you boys next time. Peace.